Hello and welcome to Better English Step by Step. This is the podcast where we take the rush out of learning. We believe that to learn English deeply, you need to slow down, listen carefully, and breathe. I am Emma, and I am here to guide you through another long, comfortable study session. And joining me today is James. Hello, James.
Hi, Emma. It is great to be here, and hello to everyone listening. Today we are going to talk about something that happens to almost every English learner. Do you ever feel like you are running a race when you speak English? You start a sentence and you keep going, and suddenly you are completely out of breath.
That is such a common feeling, James. I hear it all the time. Students try to say a long, complicated sentence in one single breath. They think that fluency means speed. They think that if they stop, they will look like they don't know the answer. So they rush. And the result is that they sound robotic, they feel panicked, and their listeners get tired.
Exactly. But here's the secret that we are going to practice today. Native speakers are not fast. Native speakers are actually quite slow. We use silence just as much as we use words. We use something called thought groups.
Thought groups. That sounds a little technical, doesn't it? But it is actually very simple. A thought group is just a chunk of information. It is a way of breaking a long sentence into small, manageable pieces. Imagine you are cutting a cake. You do not try to eat the whole cake in one bite. You cut it into slices. Today, we are going to learn how to slice your sentences.
By the end of this hour, you will know exactly where to pause. You will feel more relaxed when you speak. You will sound more authoritative and confident. And best of all, you will never run out of air again. So settle in. If you are commuting or cooking or just relaxing on the sofa, take a deep breath. Let's build better English, step by step.
Let's start with a demonstration. I want you to listen to a sentence. I am going to say it two different ways. First, I will say it the way many learners do, without pauses. Listen carefully. Yesterday, I went to the supermarket to buy some bread and milk for breakfast.
That was very fast, Emma. It felt a bit stressful to listen to. It sounded like a machine. There was no rhythm.
Exactly. Now listen to the same sentence, but this time I will use thought groups. I will put tiny pauses between the ideas. Listen. Yesterday, I went to the supermarket to buy some bread and milk for breakfast.
That sounded so much better. It was calm, it was clear, and I could easily understand each part of the message.
That is the power of thought groups. When you pause, you give your listener's brain a moment to process what you just said, and you give your own brain a moment to plan what you are going to say next.
So, how do we know where to pause? Do we just pause anywhere?
Not exactly. We pause at the boundaries of ideas. Usually, we group words together that belong together grammatically. For example, we usually keep the subject and the verb together. We keep prepositional phrases together. We keep time expressions together. Let's practice this with some simple subject and verb combinations. This is the most basic building block of a sentence. We are going to start very simply, and we are going to build up. I want you to listen to the phrase and then repeat it in the pause. We will do this slowly. Are you ready? Let's begin. Listen to this short sentence. The car stopped. Now you say it. The car stopped. Good. Now let's add a little bit more information. Let's say where the car stopped. We will add a new thought group. Listen to the rhythm. The car stopped. At the red light. Did you hear that tiny break? I didn't say the car stopped at the red light. I said the car stopped. At the red light. Now you try. Repeat after me. The car stopped. At the red light. Excellent. Let's try that again. Focus on the silence between the two chunks. The car stopped. At the red light. Now let's make it even longer. Let's add a time expression. Time expressions are almost always their own thought group. Let's add the phrase in the morning. Listen to the three chunks. The car stopped. At the red light. In the morning. Now it is your turn. We will go step by step. Repeat the first chunk. The car stopped. Repeat the second chunk. At the red light. Repeat the third chunk. In the morning. Now let's put it all together. Keep the pauses. The car stopped. At the red light. In the morning. Do you feel how much control you have? You don't need to rush to the end. You can take your time. Let's try another example. This time we will talk about a person. Let's talk about my friend Sarah. Okay, the basic sentence is, Sarah lives. That is a complete sentence, but it is very short. Let's add a place. Sarah lives in London. Repeat that. Sarah lives in London. Now let's add a detail about who she lives with. Let's add with her sister. This is a new prepositional phrase, so it gets its own chunk. Listen. Sarah lives in London with her sister. Notice the rhythm. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Now you try. Repeat after me. Sarah lives in London with her sister. Let's do it one more time. Focus on making the pauses clear. Do not be afraid of the silence. Sarah lives in London with her sister.
Very good. Now let's try a slightly longer sentence about work. The sentence is, he finished the report before the meeting started. If you say this fast, it sounds like he finished the report before the meeting started. It's a mess. Let's break it down. Chunk 1, the action. He finished the report. Chunk 2, the time. Before the meeting started. Let's practice these two chunks separately first. Repeat after me. He finished the report. Good. Now the second part. Before the meeting started. Now put them together. Leave a nice clear gap in the middle. He finished the report. Before the meeting started. One more time. He finished the report. Before the meeting started. This technique is wonderful because it also helps with pronunciation. When you have fewer words to say at once, you can pronounce them more clearly. You don't trip over your own tongue. That is very true. It is about quality, not quantity. Let's move on to some slightly more complex structures. Often, sentences have a long subject at the beginning. Learners often panic when they see a long subject. They try to rush through it to get to the verb. But you don't need to rush. The subject can be its own thought group. Let's look at this sentence. The man in the blue shirt is my boss. Here, the subject is the man in the blue shirt. That is a long phrase. We can actually break that down, or we can keep it as one group. Let's try breaking it into two parts for clarity. The man in the blue shirt is my boss. Listen to that again. The man in the blue shirt is my boss. Now you try. Repeat after me. The man in the blue shirt is my boss. Now let's try to flow it a little more smoothly, but still keep the rhythm. The man in the blue shirt is my boss. Repeat that. The man in the blue shirt is my boss. Let's try another one with a long subject. The big tree in the garden fell down yesterday. Okay, let's find the chunks. Chunk 1, the big tree. Chunk 2, in the garden. Chunk 3, fell down. Chunk 4, yesterday. Wow, 4 chunks. That makes it so easy to say. Let's practice each piece. Repeat after me. The big tree, in the garden, fell down yesterday. Now let's link them in pairs. Repeat after me. The big tree in the garden fell down yesterday. Now the whole thing. Remember the pauses. The big tree in the garden fell down yesterday. You might be thinking, is this too slow? Do I sound strange? The answer is no. To a native speaker, this sounds thoughtful. It sounds like you are carefully choosing your words. It is much better to be slow and clear than fast and confusing. Absolutely. When you pause, you sound intelligent. You sound like you are in control. Let's practice some sentences with connecting words. Words like because, but, and so. These words are excellent signals for a pause. Yes, usually we pause right before these connecting words. It acts like a little breath before you give the reason or the result. Let's try a sentence with because. I stayed home because it was raining. Where is the pause? It is right before because. Listen. I stayed home because it was raining. Your turn. Repeat after me. I stayed home because it was raining. Now together. I stayed home because it was raining. Let's try one with but. I wanted to go, but I was too tired. Listen to the intonation as well. When I say I wanted to go, my voice goes up a little bit. It shows that the sentence is not finished. Then on the second part, but I was too tired, my voice goes down to show I am finished. Let's practice that intonation change. Repeat after me. I wanted to go, but I was too tired. Now the whole sentence. Listen for the up and down melody. I wanted to go, but I was too tired. Let's try one with so. This is used for results. The shop was closed, so we went home. Repeat after me. The shop was closed, so we went home. Full sentence. The shop was closed, so we went home. You are doing a great job. If you are enjoying this calm, structured way of learning, please consider subscribing to the channel. We release these long-form lessons regularly to help you build your confidence without the stress. By subscribing, you make sure you never miss a chance to practice your speaking. Now, let's move into a deeper practice session. We are going to work on lists. Lists are a classic place where learners speed up. They try to say apples, bananas, oranges, and grapes, all as one big word. But in English, a list is a perfect opportunity to slow down. Each item in the list is its own thought group. You should pause after every single item. Let's try a simple shopping list sentence. I need to buy apples, bananas, and milk. Listen to the chunks. I need to buy apples, bananas, and milk. Notice that even apples gets a pause after it. Bananas gets a pause. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I need to buy apples, bananas, and milk. Now let's string it together with the pauses. I need to buy apples, bananas, and milk. Let's make the list a bit more complicated. Maybe a list of actions. Here is the sentence. On Saturday, I cleaned the house, washed the car, and read a book. That is a lot of activity. Let's break it down. Chunk 1, on Saturday. Chunk 2, I cleaned the house. Chunk 3, washed the car. Chunk 4, and read a book. Listen to the rhythm of the whole thing. On Saturday, I cleaned the house, washed the car, and read a book.
Now it is your turn. We will do this piece by piece. Repeat after me. On Saturday, I cleaned the house, washed the car, and read a book. Excellent. Now imagine you are telling this to a friend. You want to be clear. Repeat the whole sequence. On Saturday, I cleaned the house, washed the car, and read a book. Can you feel how the pauses act like commas? In writing, we use commas to separate ideas. In speaking, we use pauses. If you don't pause, it is like writing a whole page without any punctuation. It becomes impossible to read. That is a great analogy, James. Speaking without pauses is like writing without spaces or commas. Now let's challenge ourselves a bit. We are going to look at a longer, more professional sentence. This is the kind of sentence you might use in a job interview or a business meeting. The sentence is, I believe that I am the right candidate for this job because I have the experience and the skills that you need. Wow, that is long. If you panic, you will rush and stumble. Let's breathe and chop it up. Chunk 1, I believe. Chunk 2, that I am the right candidate. Chunk 3, for this job. Chunk 4, because I have the experience. Chunk 5, and the skills. Chunk 6, that you need. We broke that into 6 pieces. That makes it so much less scary. Let's practice each piece. Repeat after me. I believe that I am the right candidate for this job because I have the experience and the skills that you need. Now let's combine them into slightly larger groups. Repeat after me. I believe that I am the right candidate for this job because I have the experience and the skills that you need. Now let's try the whole thing. Remember, take your time. You are the expert. You are confident. I believe that I am the right candidate for this job because I have the experience and the skills that you need. Do you hear how authoritative that sounds? When you speak slowly, people listen more closely. They think, this person knows what they are talking about. Exactly. Now, I want to talk about something called the breath pause. Sometimes a pause is not just silence. It is a moment to actually breathe. Many students try to speak until their lungs are empty. They squeeze out the last word with no air left. That sounds strained. It makes your voice sound tight and high-pitched. You should breathe before you run out of air. The best time to breathe is during these thought group pauses. You don't need a huge, loud gasp, just a small, quick intake of air through your nose or mouth. Let's practice this. We are going to say a long sentence, and we are going to consciously take a small breath in the middle. Here is the sentence. Although it was very expensive, we decided to buy the tickets because we really wanted to see the show. Okay, there are 2 logical places to breathe here, after expensive and after tickets. Let's mark those spots. Part 1, although it was very expensive. Part 2, we decided to buy the tickets. Part 3, because we really wanted to see the show. Let's try it. I will exaggerate the breath so you can hear it. Listen. Although it was very expensive.
We decided to buy the tickets because we really wanted to see the show. Now you try. Don't be shy about breathing. Your body needs oxygen to speak English. Repeat after me. Although it was very expensive. Take a breath. We decided to buy the tickets. Take a breath. Because we really wanted to see the show. Now let's flow through it. Keep the breath silent and quick if you can, but make sure you take it. Although it was very expensive. We decided to buy the tickets. Because we really wanted to see the show. It feels much better physically, doesn't it? You finish the sentence feeling strong, not weak. Let's do another one for breath control. This is a storytelling sentence. After walking for 3 hours, we finally reached the top of the mountain and saw the beautiful view. That is a beautiful sentence. Let's find the breath points. After hours and after mountain. Part 1. After walking for 3 hours. Part 2. We finally reached the top of the mountain. Part 3. And saw the beautiful view. Let's practice. Repeat after me. After walking for 3 hours. We finally reached the top of the mountain. And saw the beautiful view. Now the whole thing. Manage your air. After walking for 3 hours. We finally reached the top of the mountain. And saw the beautiful view. Wonderful. Now I want to address a question I often hear. If I pause so much, will I sound like I am translating? That is a valid worry, but there is a difference between a thinking pause and a thought group pause. A thinking pause is when you stop in the middle of a chunk because you don't know the word. For example, I want to, buy a, apple. That sounds broken. A thought group pause happens between the chunks. It sounds planned. I want to buy an apple. The rhythm is consistent. As long as the words inside the chunk are smooth, the pause between the chunks is natural. So the rule is smooth inside the chunk, pause between the chunks. Let's practice smooth inside. We will take a common phrase and make sure there are no breaks inside it. The phrase is, at the end of the day. This is a common idiom. It means ultimately. It has 6 words, but we say it as one unit. At the end of the day. It sounds like one long word.
Now, let's put pauses around it, but not inside it. The sentence is, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Chunk 1. At the end of the day. Chunk 2. It doesn't matter. Repeat after me. Keep the first chunk smooth. At the end of the day. It doesn't matter. Together. At the end of the day. It doesn't matter. Here is another common chunk. As soon as possible. 4 words. 1 sound. As soon as possible. Let's put it in a sentence. Please call me. As soon as possible. Repeat after me. Please call me. As soon as possible. Together. Please call me. As soon as possible. If you broke that chunk up, please call me as soon as possible, it would sound very strange. So the goal is to glue the small words together and put space around the big ideas. Let's do a linking versus pausing drill. I will give you a phrase. You need to link the words inside it. Then I will add another phrase. You need to pause before it. Phrase 1. I don't know. Link it. I don't know. Phrase 2. What to do. Link it. What to do. Sentence. I don't know. What to do. Repeat. I don't know. What to do. Phrase 1. She is going. Link it. She is going. Phrase 2. To the park. Link it. To the park. Sentence. She is going. To the park. Repeat. She is going. To the park. Phrase 1. We are waiting. Link it. We are waiting. Phrase 2. For the bus. Link it. We are waiting. For the bus. Sentence. We are waiting. For the bus. Repeat. We are waiting. For the bus. This rhythm, sound, silence,
sound, silence, is the heartbeat of English. Once you feel it, speaking becomes much less tiring. We are going to move into a longer practice section now. We are going to take a short paragraph, a little story, and we are going to work through it sentence by sentence, chunk by chunk. This will help you see how thought groups work in a real context, not just in isolated sentences. Here is the context. You are telling a friend about a trip you took last weekend. Just relax and imagine the scene. You went to the beach. It was sunny. You had a good time. Here is the first sentence. Last weekend, I decided to drive to the beach because the weather was perfect. Let's break it down. Last weekend, I decided to drive to the beach because the weather was perfect. Let's shadow this. I will say a chunk, leave a space, and you say it. Last weekend, I decided to drive to the beach because the weather was perfect. Now, let's try to say the whole sentence with me. We will go slowly. Join in with my voice. Last weekend, I decided to drive to the beach because the weather was perfect. Second sentence. When I arrived, the sun was shining and the water looked amazing. Let's chunk it. When I arrived, the sun was shining and the water looked amazing. Your turn. Repeat. When I arrived, the sun was shining and the water looked amazing. Now, say the whole sentence with the pauses. When I arrived, the sun was shining and the water looked amazing. Third sentence. I swam for an hour, ate some ice cream, and then drove home. Let's chunk it. I swam for an hour, ate some ice cream, and then drove home. Repeat. I swam for an hour, ate some ice cream, and then drove home. Whole sentence. I swam for an hour, ate some ice cream, and then drove home. Final sentence. It was exactly what I needed to relax after a busy week. Chunk it. It was exactly what I needed to relax after a busy week. Repeat. It was exactly what I needed to relax after a busy week. Now, here's the challenge. We are going to put the whole story together. We will read through all 4 sentences. I will read them with the correct pausing. I want you to shadow me. You can speak at the same time as me, or just slightly after. Try to match my rhythm. Try to match my silence. Are you ready? Last weekend, I decided to drive to the beach because the weather was perfect. When I arrived, the sun was shining and the water looked amazing. I swam for an hour, ate some ice cream, and then drove home. It was exactly what I needed to relax after a busy week. How did that feel? Did it feel different from how you usually speak? I hope it felt calmer. I hope it felt like you had time to think. This is the secret to fluency. Fluency is not about how fast your mouth moves. It is about how smoothly your information flows. And the flow needs gaps. Let's try one more scenario. This one is more formal. Imagine you are making a phone call to make a reservation at a restaurant. This is a high-pressure situation for many people. You are nervous, so you speak fast. But speaking fast makes it harder for the receptionist to understand you. So we slow down. We use thought groups. Here is the first sentence. Hello, I would like to book a table for 2 people for Friday night. That is a lot of information. If you say, hello, I would like to book a table for 2 people for Friday night, they might miss the day or the number of people. Let's chunk it for clarity. Hello, I would like to book a table for 2 people for Friday night. Repeat after me. Hello, I would like to book a table for 2 people for Friday night. Now the whole thing, clear and polite. Hello, I would like to book a table for 2 people for Friday night. Next sentence. We would prefer a table by the window if that is possible. Chunk it. We would prefer a table by the window if that is possible. We would prefer a table by the window, if that is possible. Whole sentence. We would prefer a table by the window, if that is possible. Also, could you please tell me if you have any vegetarian options? Also, could you please tell me if you have any vegetarian options? Whole sentence. Also, could you please tell me if you have any vegetarian options? By breaking it down, you ensure that the person on the other end of the phone hears vegetarian clearly. They hear window clearly. You are helping them help you. Exactly. Communication is a two-way street. Your pauses help the listener. We have practiced a lot of specific sentences today, but I want to give you a tool you can use anytime, anywhere. It is called the finger tap. This is a great physical trick. When you are speaking, or even when you are reading English text aloud, use your finger to tap on the table or on your leg. Tap once for every thought group. So if the sentence is, I went to the store, you tap twice. I went, tap, to the store, tap. This physical action forces your brain to recognize the chunks. It connects your body to the rhythm of the language. Let's try a quick drill with the finger tap. I will say a sentence. I want you to tap your finger or nod your head every time you hear a pause. Ready? Here is the sentence. Even though it was late, I called my friend, and we talked for hours. How many taps? Let's check. Even though it was late, tap. I called my friend, tap. And we talked for hours, tap. That's 3 taps, 3 thought groups. Let's try another one. To improve your English, you should listen every day, speak as much as possible, and not be afraid of mistakes. Let's count the chunks. To improve your English, tap. You should listen every day, tap. Speak as much as possible, tap. And not be afraid of mistakes. 4 taps, 4 distinct ideas. This helps you visualize the structure of the language. It turns a wall of text into a series of stepping stones. You just step from one stone to the next. Let's do a little bit of reverse engineering. I am going to read a paragraph incorrectly. I am going to put the pauses in the wrong places. I want you to listen and feel how confusing it is. Okay, listen to this. I went to the store to buy some milk and eggs because I wanted to make a cake. That was terrible. It was so hard to follow. Why was it hard? Because I broke the thought groups. I paused after the. I went to the. That leaves the brain hanging. I paused after and. Some milk and. You should never pause after a word like the, and, or to, unless you are really stuck. These function words belong attached to the next word. The store. A cake. To buy. So the rule is, glue the small word to the big word. Don't separate them. Let's correct that sentence. I went to the store, good. To buy some milk and eggs, good. Because I wanted to make a cake. Much better. Let's practice keeping the small words attached. Phrase, in the house. Wrong, in the house. Right, in the house. Repeat, in the house. Phrase, on the table. Wrong, on the table. Right, on the table. Repeat, on the table. Always push forward to the noun. The preposition loves the noun. The article loves the noun. Keep them together like a family. We are coming to the final part of our session today. We have covered the what, thought groups. We have covered the how, pausing and breathing. And we have covered the why, clarity and confidence. I want to leave you with a final practice routine that covers everything. We call it the 3-speed drill. We take one sentence. Speed 1 is robot mode. Very slow, huge pauses, just to find the chunks. Speed 2 is teacher mode. Clear, articulate, distinct pauses. Speed 3 is natural mode. Smooth, flowing, but still keeping the rhythm of the chunks. Let's try this with one final sentence. The sentence is, if you practice a little bit every day, you will see big improvements in a few months. Speed 1, robot mode. If you practice, long pause, A little bit, long pause. Every day, long pause. You will see, long pause. In a few months. Do that with me. Robot mode. If you practice, a little bit, every day, you will see big improvements in a few months. Okay, now speed 2, teacher mode. Clear and confident. If you practice a little bit every day, you will see big improvements in a few months. Now, speed 3, natural mode. This is how you would say it to a friend over coffee. The pauses are shorter, they are micro pauses, but they are still there. If you practice a little bit every day, you will see big improvements in a few months. Try it. Natural flow. If you practice a little bit every day, you will see big improvements in a few months. See? Even at natural speed, the structure remains. The skeleton of the sentence is the thought groups. I hope you feel the difference in your mouth and in your lungs. You shouldn't feel tired after speaking English. If you feel exhausted, slow down. Check your chunks, find your breath.
Here is your mission for the rest of the day. The next time you listen to a podcast or watch a video, maybe even the next video on this channel, don't just listen to the words, listen to the silence. Try to hear where the speaker stops. You will be surprised. You will realize that native speakers are stopping all the time, and once you hear it, you can copy it. If you found this lesson helpful, please give it a like so other learners can find it. And do subscribe if you want more calm, step-by-step practice sessions like this one. We are here to help you reach your goals, one comfortable lesson at a time. Thank you for studying with us today. You did great work. Remember, fluency is not a race. Take your time, speak in chunks, and breathe. See you in the next lesson. Goodbye. Goodbye.